Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael.
My name's Cleve.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship
Supreme.
We're the podcast that dares to ask, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 really that bad?
Yes.
It wasn't that bad.
Yes, it still
It was
is.
just fine. It was made for kids and was good.
No. You know what?
Look, you remember when
The movie we're going to talk about today is made for kids. And I thought it was really good.
Do you remember when you, one time, were out with a bunch of friends and you happened to hold a lantern at the same time that four Japanese men in feudal Japan also held that lantern?
And then we swapped clothes and places and time.
How crazy was it to get to watch those samurai in New York?
They were just in the sewer. They never even left the sewer.
That's true, but they got to experience pizza.
Yeah, but they taught the pizza back then, so we messed up all of
Oh, we did. We fucked it up. Ooh, how does that work for the Back to the Future timeline? Kind of like.
Well, you know what? He tried to make it and he fucked it up, and then he made a frisbee. So does that also?
Well, Tom Cruise invented fucking soccer in feudal Japan, so it's only fair that the turtles get to do ultimate frisbee out there.
Oh, The Last Samurai.
Young Michael loved that movie, and I've yet to see it again since I've become older Michael. I have to imagine it's not good, right?
I don't know. I remember the Matt Damon Great Wall of China movie not being good.
I don't imagine. I remember seeing the trailer for that and not thinking, man, this is going to be good. This is not what this is about. Today's about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's the title of the movie. New to Netflix. It just came out on Netflix. It is based off of the most recent cartoon, which Cleve has informed me is done.
I believe so, yes.
Which is surprising because I would tell you that this most recent movie would lean itself into a sequel,
possibly,
or a continuation of the show.
I would mind if this movie was really Leonardo centered. It's about all of them, of course, but this one really focused on Leonardo becoming the leader. I would be interested in a Donatello one, a Michelangelo one, a Raphael one. You know what I mean?
I would have really been fine with you saying that this was about Raph more.
He's not in half of it.
But he has all the good points to be made.
Yeah. So you don't have to watch the cartoon I've seen part
because I've never seen the cartoon at all.
Yeah, I've seen some of it. One of the big problems people had was that Raphael was the leader.
He was
in the cartoon. And the finale of the cartoon, Splinter's Leonardo's leader, and it just kind of ends right there.
It gave it very much an school of Scott and Logan kind of vibe. It was they were both fighting for that leadership role, and that was why it was weird because Raph had this idea, and again, I never saw the cartoon, but in the movie, Raph gave this very much, I'm all about being heroic and being for the team and saving people, which has never been the vibe that you got from Raph, in my opinion.
Raph has always wanted leadership.
He wants to be a leader,
but vibe always got.
But he also was always I'm going to go out on my own and handle swift justice on my own.
But that's always because he was never the leader.
So he just wanted to do things his own way, but wanted to lead as the group. It was just that he was doing his own shit.
It's almost like they've swapped a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Something I thought, so I never saw the cartoon. Something I thought was interesting was that Cleve brought up that these Ninja Turtles are all based off of actual turtles, which was kind of cool and kind of nice that it wasn't all just for very basic turtles. I missed the belt buckle a little bit, if I'm being honest. Dumb thing to care about. But I
Not
just kept
added
looking
since
at
the
it like
80s.
it just kept looking at it like it was just a T. And if you're gonna put a fucking letter on it, like you just put
Well,
their letter on it.
so I will say the belt buckles back in the day
Uh huh.
are what helped you kind of
Separate them because they were
separate
all
them.
red. Well, they all wore red bandana.
These are all drastically different turtles.
That's
So I
fair.
guess I didn't mind it, except for I feel like Leonardo and Donatello are very close to the same
If it weren't for the soft shell.
structurally. The soft shell, and then the red
Oh,
across
that's true. Yeah.
Leonardo's eyes, which distinguishes him as a different turtle that I didn't look up.
Anytime
But
we have color distinguishing things, it's just like, all right, sure.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, in the comic books, Cleve and I have talked about this before in other episodes, but in the comic books, that's why the belt buckles had the letters on them, is they all wore red bandanas and they were, needed to be differentiated.
you don't need an R to know that Raphael's the massive fucking mountain of a
He
turtle.
sure as fuck is. You don't have any knowledge. If you didn't watch the cartoon, you don't know how they got their mystic powers, because they do have mystic powers.
They do.
I just chalked it up to Venus de Milo.
Okay, that's fair. I think it's a really you know what, and then it's a really easy thing to just go, yeah, all right. They've got the powers right now. It's a cool thing.
It checked
And
out.
the cartoon, of course, it has this whole backstory to it, but it doesn't even matter.
No,
Like
it was not like over the top, other than the time travel, but he had to kill himself to do it. So,
well, and that was a future of like I assume a sorcerer supreme
yeah,
amount of time of studying.
yeah. No, I think Venus de Milo and him finally got it on, and that's how he learned.
And
he ascended.
It's is magic an STD? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
When
got
two
it.
turtles fuck, if one of them's mystic, the other one's gonna get some mystic on his
Gotcha.
mystic.
Yeah, no. Segue from it. Continue.
You just have to bring her in because she's back in the comic books.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, even though they're kind of done. But that could be one of the future movies that they're talking about.
So are you talking about more movies?
Not yet. And Seth Rogen's doing some version of the movie now.
Fucking hate Seth Rogen.
And so, I mean, who's to say? But this one did well, so it's really between them and Netflix, right?
Yeah, fair. I will say, okay, so just off the top, if you guys are wanting an opinion on this, the animation is done beautifully.
You can definitely tell where they spent the money, for sure.
I really enjoyed it. It was well done. It was it kind of felt like it was geared towards older children. There's a little more like heavier topics to it.
There were some scenes, man, that I was like, there are scenes that are like, I'm really sad, and there are scenes that are like, I am slightly horrified, and there's
no, like, so I was watching it in front of Jameson. She's 5. Like, she is, the other day I had to tell her she can't watch Piggy. Do you know what Piggy is? Fucking Roblox, man. So Roblox is this, like, universe that people just keep creating games.
Right.
Piggy is basically Dead by Daylight, but Peppa the Pig?
Okay.
And so they use Peppa the Pig looking characters.
Okay.
And like they hunt each other down to kill each other.
Why not play that?
And I'm
Or
like,
watch
what
that.
I was sitting there and I'm listening to her giggle, and there's there's 1 or 2 streamers that she watches that I'm like, I keep a tab on it. I make sure that like that's not. And so like I know and I research the ones that she watches.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them have been okay so far. This girl, she played one of these games, and I'm like, what is those sounds that it's making? And she
Was it
describes this
squealy
game
pig
to me. She's
sounds?
like, it's Piggy. And so I looked at Piggy. I'm like, no. So that's been removed. But anyway, so
You only make it more enticing.
The point of that was my daughter came up to me while I was watching TMNT, and she goes, Dad, this is too much for me. Oh, like what's going on? And like it's when they were turning the people into Krang.
Yeah, obviously.
And she's like,
Obviously, it's the people when they were turning people into crane because that was the most terrifying. So okay, so
Seriously, it's too much. So I turned it off. I watched it by myself later that night because I was like, I get it. I'm not gonna create nightmares for my child.
so in this, what I like about TMNT is that they've said, look, we have a different universe for everything. Fuck off. None of the rules from the first one apply to this one because there's a different universe. Eat shit, which is nice because then it gives the people the ability to do whatever they want to do
Right.
without having to worry about stepping on a toe or something else. So in this version, the Krang are released into Earth through this dimensional portal thingy where they were locked away for 1,000 years, where the Krang is the most terrifying he's ever been in a movie or in any version, I would say. They are the size of the turtles, and they can take their tentacles and almost like how the Venom does it and Marvel and take over a person's body. And they decide that the Foot Clan release them because that's how that works. And they decide that we're just going to infect all of you. And it starts, someone tries to run, it grabs them by the foot, pulls them in, and you see it like they're screaming and it's taking over their whole body. And I'm like, oh my God.
Krang has always been like this pink little squishy.
Yeah, the beak, and it's gone.
Like he's
Without
comical, and it's
Krang
yeah.
has always been the thing where without the suit, it was like whatever, eat shit. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about you. And this, they have the ability, like combat wise, to take care of himself. He does some sort of technique where it removes their mystical powers,
Yeah,
and
he does.
and so they lose that for a majority of the movie. And yeah, when you were like, she's like, it's too much for me. Yeah, it's that one part because
Yeah.
that one part is because to be fair, besides that and a little bit when they take over New York, it's not as bad. But that part is rough for sure.
Anything involving them was like, wow, they're menacing. And there's three
Mhm.
of them.
Yeah, there's a brother, a sister, and then like the main one that does all the speaking and is
Right.
the ringleader.
It was a species as opposed to like just one person because I feel like Krang has always just been the name, but I could be wrong.
In in like the last couple, Krang has been like
A whole
an
thing.
alien race. The
Okay.
alien race is Krang.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but so the whole entire thing was done really well. Storyline was great. You get to meet a young Casey Jones from the future, who then apparently in the cartoon show are they dealing with his mom at the time? Like is that or is that just a fun little
She
drops?
she is a member of the Foot Clan that they like know
Rehabilitate
and
or
interact with.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Not to like I'm not trying to spoil it.
I'll
I
say
didn't. I guess I should have.
rehabilitate like yeah, that's yeah, that'll work for it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
bring to their side, I
Right.
guess. Yeah.
Um. But no, you know what I think my favorite thing was, and the whole entire thing was actually April O'Neil for being a actual
Help.
self-reliant character. Like she was, I don't know her backstory in this. I don't know if she trained or what, or if she just magically knows it all. But the fact that she was an actual contributing member of this group was really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, okay, so they know her again, not that you need to know these things because it just works on its own. But she's known them since like high school
Mm-hmm.
and now she's in college, so I assume that she's been training.
With
I've
them,
not finished the whole thing, but I assume that she's been training over this time.
and that would make sense.
She goes to
And that's
East
cool.
Lard University. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw. We couldn't have called it Eastman Laird at that point,
Nah, that's too much.
or she could have gone like Eastman High and then end up in Laird University.
And then they both wouldn't have gotten the call out in the
That's
movie.
fair. That's fair.
Um, so the movie starts with the Krang already have taken over New York, and Raphael's already clearly dead because Leonardo has his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know how that works. And Donatello's already dead, and it's Michelangelo who comes in like the Sorcerer Supreme and opens a time portal, which he like you were saying earlier, he gives his life for, and he like turns back and gives a little wink, and I was like, I'm already really sad to see like he's like, I know what it takes, but it's fine because he's that's not really him. He's never the serious one.
You know what it reminded me of? Last
Mm,
Ronin. Like it
yeah,
was very much like you've hit everything. Everything's happened. It's not good, and you're like, get to be serious now. Bye.
yeah, and Leonardo throws Casey Jones into the portal to try to save New York from this future. Why you wouldn't send him back maybe a day before the key was stolen? Why you send him on the day that the key was stolen that unlocks the crane? I don't plot points, but whatever.
Was that Hypnopotamus? Is that his name?
Hypno, yes, because
Hypnopotamus. Yeah.
he's like a not a magician,
He
but
looked like
whatever you want to call
he
it.
looked like when fucking Chevy Chase dresses up as a like that racist stereotype Swami. Like I don't
Yes,
know. Fuck.
yeah, that's
It
basically
looked terrible, but
they're mutant characters from that cartoon series,
yeah.
but they thankfully because I don't know them very well either. They don't play a huge part in it at all.
It was a funny like whatever. Okay. I don't know how in depth you wanted to get on this actual movie because I know we don't want to spoil a lot of things.
Mhm.
So at first I'll just say I would highly recommend it. It's only an hour and 30 minutes. It's really
Great
well
time.
done. It's all kind of nicely packaged for you. You don't really need to know anything else outside of it.
That's with credits.
That is with credits. Um, where do you place it in the plethora of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies that exist right now?
I've ranked my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. I sat on it for a minute, like looking at it and going, okay, let's let's go ahead and put my bottom at the bottom.
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
work our way through here.
for sure.
There I have 7 movies counted. There are Turtles Forever and then the Batman versus Ninja Turtles movies. I
I
did
haven't
not
seen either
include
of those.
those because I knew you hadn't seen either of those.
Yeah.
Although Turtles Forever, really good. Batman and Turtles was fine. Um, I have this one. Look, I'm still looking at it. I would say second.
Okay.
I think it's really well done. I think that the brothers' chemistry is all really there. I think that I don't know if you picked this up because I didn't pick this up, but apparently uh, Donatello in the animated series and in this is uh, written as having autism,
Oh no.
and that's why controlling the spaceship, like he doesn't want to touch it, and he doesn't want anybody hugging him, and when the ending happens and he's crying and he's like, I don't understand why he's so like low empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a whole video of someone called Skulltrot who has autism, who speaks on Donatello, who can obviously speak on it way better than I can because I don't experience it the same.
Right.
And
We've talked hugely about our big. That's not a word. We've talked many times about representation and how important Billy was in like Power Rangers and how cool it was to see that. So
right. And I think what makes it what she was saying is what makes it so great is like it doesn't hinder the team and the brothers around it like they work around it for him.
right.
That's why at the end when they get their powers back, spoiler I guess, Raphael like puts himself around them. He goes, "Don't worry, Donnie, this isn't a hug. I'm protecting you." And then they crash and whatever. Um, I think Leonardo getting understanding the leadership role is great. I think Michelangelo is great through the whole thing. Um, Raphael gets spoiler captured, and then they have to go and rescue him. I think that whole scene where the portal teleporty evac
Yeah.
backpack things and Raphael giving his up for Leonardo because that's what it means to be a leader and to do the right thing. And yeah, I just think that everything they did was well. The thing I hate maybe most about this series, I'm not the biggest fan of Splinter in this universe.
Did not care for him one bit. I'm glad you
Yeah,
said it.
he's he,
He sounds doofy. He seems doofy. Like
and
real like
I try the animated series because it shines light on it. Like he's this martial art, like big martial artist that kind of just gets complacent, and
Steven
starts,
Seagal.
yeah, basically.
No, yeah,
But
I got that vibe from him. It felt very much like
yeah,
that didn't feel like
I just
Master
like
Splinter.
I enjoy a
But
firm, stern, like wise teacher. I don't like him being silly, I guess.
you
I
didn't
know
want him to
that's a
be
dumb
Jack
thing.
Black. You want him to
I,
be yeah.
right.
No, I get it. Yeah, no, I definitely got the same vibe. That was like probably the one complaint I had was that I didn't really care for Splinter that much. Also, that we just happen to have a magical chemical that defeated Krang that we stole from a lab
I don't
for
know
no
what it is.
reason. We stole it for no reason. Like we just said, "Oh, this is dangerous. I'm going to
Well,
steal a backpack full of it."
my understanding was she was doing research on some shit that they were doing that university was doing that she thought that was wrong, and so she took it, and it just so happened to work out that also broke them.
I appreciated throwing the book of running out of things to throw.
Hmm.
Yeah, good. They had some good cartoon gags to it.
Yeah,
Okay, so you would say this is number 3. Do you want to just give me your list?
2.
Oh, you said number 2.
Yeah. Bottom, absolute bottom, the worst
Yeah,
one.
definitely the animated 2000 series one.
No, 2000. Which one was in
The one
2000?
that came out in 2000s. There's an S after that. The
Okay.
animated one. Well, the
No,
big animated, the
it's
TMNT.
no. I mean, if you actually want to know, or if you just want to keep filling out my answers, it's completely up to you. I'm good with either.
I just, I think you're
Okay,
wrong.
cool. Thank you. Is the uh Out of the Shadows 2016 Michael Bay one? I think is the absolute worst
Oh, that's right.
Ninja Turtles movie. I didn't like anything about it. I think the writing was shitty.
Bebop and Rocksteady didn't do something for you?
No, it was stupid, terrible writing. Every character was bad, from Bebop Rocksteady to fucking Tyler Perry's villain thing to
Was it Seamus that played Rocksteady?
I believe so.
Or
And
yeah,
and Casey Jones being this detective who just so happened to get fucking like a hockey stick one time. Like it just wasn't good at all. None of it was good.
Stephen Amell acted his heart out for you.
Well, he should have stayed in Arrow because it was fucking terrible. Number 6 is the Ninja Turtles 3 because also no redeeming qualities. They wanted it to be Turtles in Time. It just wasn't. There's no redeeming qualities about that movie to me. The only thing I can say is that I hate Out of the Shadows. Like,
What about the other Michael Bay?
the other Michael Bay one's number 5,
Okay.
and it's so the only redeeming quality of that movie is that fucking elevator scene.
I know.
That
I
is
know, my
it.
friend.
I hate the rest of it. Them looking at April O'Neil and being like, "Oh, my shell's getting tight." Fucking gross.
It's
The
a real mutation vibe. What was the
when she's like, "I worked in a lab and these were my pet like, what the fuck? I understand the multiverse and you're able to do whatever you want with it because of this multiverse, but this multiverse is terrible. Out of 7 movies, you were number 5 and number 7. That's not a good run for you.
I don't know, man. It could be number 7 and 6 if you'd like.
I mean, it easily could. It easily
Without
could.
them the beatboxing in the elevator.
If if these ones had had more time on them, maybe they could be lower. But Ninja Turtles 3 has had so much time and has not. There's never been like a hey, but did you hear that they did this? Like, did you? They looked into this research and found this thing, and like, no, it's just not good. Yoshi, and then he puts his big fucking animatronic mouth over this little boy to do CPR. I'm sure that kid's scarred. No therapy gets you over that.
He saved a child's life.
That child didn't want that.
All right, number 3 was.
I mean,
And
you're
then
just
06,
skipping around. I'm
and
at
then-
5.
Yeah, and then I was recapping. Michael Bay's
Oh.
5.
Yeah, Michael Bay is 5 and 7 because he as a shredder. Oh my god. Anyway. Number what am I at? 4 is Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze.
It was a good time. I don't mind making up 2 random mutants for this movie. I'd probably still watch it.
I can always remember Raza, but I can never remember the other one's name.
Isn't it like Token and Razor or something?
Token and Razor, thank you.
Yeah. I don't mind. I don't hate it. It's exactly in the middle where I feel like, it kind of should be. It didn't break any molds. It made the Turtles, I believe it made the Turtles go on tour. Maybe that's why it's lower for me, because that didn't go well.
I think they went on tour after the first one.
The only reason I say the second one is because of the turtle rap. And and now that I've seen them dance, why wouldn't they go on tour? Like,
well, when they went on tour, though, it was a rock concert.
Well, I'm saying more like, oh man, kids really enjoyed that time that they were dancing. Let's make them dance all the time.
Well, because remember, originally the first one was not actually made for kids, and then kids saw it because they marketed it, and it was like, oh shit. So that's why I was thinking it was after the first one, but I could be wrong.
I honestly don't know either. They came out a year apart, so maybe that's it too. Like, it was good to me, but like anytime a movie comes out, a sequel comes out a year after, you're looking for money. You know what I mean? Like, you're not like, I really want to make sure we get this story down. Although it is a good story, I don't think it's terrible. Number 3, I have as the 2007, the animated one. I still really enjoy that one. I think that having a different villain is nice. It doesn't need to be Shredder every time. I think that the power struggle between Leonardo and Raphael is really good. They had comics that led up to that movie, which I thought was nice, about where Leonardo's been and what Raphael's been doing. And the fight scene between Leonardo and Raphael in the rain, I think it's a really solid scene. The rain hitting their skin is just like a little turtle, little reptile turtle skin. It was great. Number 2, I have The Rise, and the number 1 is still the first one. And I think it's purely nostalgia that one still makes number 1.
I don't know if it changes your opinion, but it was after the first one.
No, it doesn't. But
chat says fuck Secret of the Ooze.
That's not.
I'm not going to give you guys
better than 3.
I'm not going to give you guys my list anymore. I don't want to.
It's better than 3. Like,
I actually would say I would argue that I liked Secret of the Ooze more than any of the other ones.
Oh.
I thought they had to be more creative with it.
Okay.
It was less cut and dry. It was a little more campy, a little more like the cartoon where there's a lot more.
Like we talked about before, where Donatello does the.
Yeah,
thing.
Stuff like that. Like but again, and it may go back to, big surprise, I like nostalgia, and so like if I enjoyed it a lot as a kid, then like I'll probably grow up and have good memories of it. But like I rewatched it recently with my kid. I also have really fond memories of Ernie Reyes Jr. I've met him twice, and so seeing him in a movie is always
I
fun.
do like him too. I would say that one of the redeeming qualities to me is him.
I really like him. Or like in the beginning when he's like, hey, you want to
Pizza
go out for a
delivery
pizza?
kid, right?
Yeah, he goes, yeah, you want to go out for a slice of pizza sometime? She goes, maybe if you looked taller. He goes, well, maybe if you were slimmer. And then fucking drives off in his moped. I'm like, yeah, what a gangster. He just, fuck you, lady. But no, I just, I don't know what it was about that particular one. Now, I will grant the ninja rap was awful. I understand that. But at the time, it was exciting as a kid, for sure.
At the time, it was the second Ninja Turtles movie, Ninja Turtles song I had ever heard. The first one was the intro to the first one to the movie, and then that one.
And I still weirdly quote that movie all the time. So, and it's really just
What quotes?
nom nom. It's
Okay.
just when they get super excited about the fucking donut.
I feel like we
Mama
can't even call that a
nom
quote.
noms.
Yeah, Michelangelo, like, yeah, see? Num
Nom
nums.
noms. I don't know. Like, it just felt more like the cartoon that I ended up loving more as a child. So, like, that's on me. I get it. Not that the first one wasn't great. I do think it was great. It's best Casey Jones on screen so far. And it's also very quotable.
I thought The Rise was Casey Jones was all right.
I don't even know that I remember that one.
The Rise, we just watched it.
Oh, this one. I'm sorry. I was thinking the 2007 one. I couldn't remember. That's just TMNT, right?
Yeah, just TMNT.
Okay.
Yeah, that Casey Jones, was like him and April were married and like, or not, maybe not married. They were living together.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
He worked like with her when she brought the statues. He was like the one that like carried it in or whatever. I don't really know what their jobs were. She might have been a reporter. I assume she was a reporter.
If I had to put them in order, the last two are the Michael Bay ones. I can't
Obviously.
stand Michael Bay. I'm willing to accept. I did not like TMNT. I understand that it was good. I understand it was good. So I will put 3. I would say. I agree. The Shadows one was the worst. The second Michael Bay was the worst. Then the next Michael Bay. And then I'll say number 3, even though I think it wasn't that bad, and I think you guys are all giving it a lot worse, harder of a time than you needed to.
I mean, we have it one spot difference. So
TMNT.
And I think what says a lot about it is you're saying, I didn't like TMNT, but I understand it was a good movie.
It was.
And I understand that 3 wasn't.
That's exactly what's
So
happening
I'm
right
very
now. I'm glad you
confused
understand
by
what's happening right now.
how you can project that on us when you're like, I acknowledge the difference in these movies quality-wise.
I'm trying to pull back my nostalgia rose tinted glasses is what I'm doing for you right now.
Put it wherever you want to put it, man. Just live with it. Live with it yourself.
So basically, the I would put Secret of the Youth at number 1. King is probably going to murder me later for this. And then I would say the first one would be number 2, and then I would actually put the newest one at number 3.
The newest one is the last time I can remember hearing a turtle cuss.
It just, man, it was really.
Did you notice that?
Not that I can think of. No.
It was at the very beginning when Leonardo was like, "It's gonna take our badass mystic warrior," and he's talking about Michelangelo. And I'm like, "This is like one of the animated ones. Usually they hold back on this one."
Yeah, it was.
First I remember them cussing is when Raphael lost his eye. Damn.
I think, you know what? I think it has. Don't let me get you in the apex love. If you guys watch this on YouTube later and I'm not here and I'm not around anymore, know that the chat murdered me. I get it. I understand.
So you put Ooze at number 1 because it's kiddier.
I think okay. So here, that's what I was gonna say. I think maybe it has to do with who our favorite turtles are.
Okay. Mine was knocked out for a lot of the first one
Yeah, but
and the second one,
I mean more of like.
and my second one.
I mean more like your personality dictates which one you like, and thus shows which one you like more. Like, I'm willing to bet now that King's favorite turtle is Raph. I'm almost willing to bet it. Oh, he's Leo. Okay.
Suck it.
Suck it, Michael.
Don't tell me how to love.
I'm a big Michelangelo fan, so I think that's my problem. Is that I'm always gonna be one with like cheesy shit. It's always gonna win me over.
Yeah, man, the first one, man, first one's so good to me.
And maybe that's the other thing. Maybe I need to go watch that one again because I've watched Secret of the Ooze more recently. But acknowledged that maybe my daughter was too young to watch TMNT, like the first one. So like maybe maybe I need to just go watch the second. Like maybe that's what we need to do.
I've watched. I say
theater?
that, but like I've watched Out of the Shadows once, and that's
all you needed.
That's good. I'm good now.
You remember Tyler Perry playing?
God, I don't even remember the character's name because I'm so aggravated at Tyler Perry by himself. The nerve of you to like, I don't know. Anyway,
maybe that's what we need to do. We just rent out a movie theater and watch a couple of Ninja Turtle movies, including the third one.
That's how that's how to me. I'm gonna say this. That's to me is like you race swap this character just to cast someone who was known, as opposed to Rise where you race swapped April and it's like done. The character's better. Like not because you race swapped them, but like
no,
you just wrote the character
they
fucking
developed
better.
Her way better.
Yeah.
No, I loved the idea. And I even think movie 1, April O'Neil was I think it's one that I'm thinking that was semi like smart and like a sleuth and kind of like
she was a reporter. She was a reporter through and through,
and like did a thing.
Yeah,
and in this one, like I feel like she was just really well developed as a contributing member of this group. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, turtles, mutants, ninjas, tech geniuses, fucking super rat, and then you're like, oh, semi okay reporter April O'Neil. Exactly. Megan Fox was.
Come on, you're saying that number 1 wasn't campy enough for you, but what about when they're all training and working out, and Casey and April in the kitchen, and Michelangelo walks in and grabs something out of the shell, and he's like, turtle wax, and like rubs it on his shoulder and runs back out. Come on,
they're good, and that's why I'm willing to admit maybe I need to rewatch it because there are good moments in that movie. I just yeah.
Or they're around that campfire and they're like stoically trying to speak to their father, and I never explain how they get to do that. But
I'm gonna go watch the third one and bring up all the good moments that happen in that one.
Man, good luck.
If only I could find where a copy of their DVD would be. Cleve
I
one time
almost bought you a couple.
Cleve one time told me he was gonna just start fucking every
year for your birthday,
anything for my birthday, Christmas, whatever. He's just gonna show up with the third Ninja Turtle movie because he knows that.
But I want them to be different. I want them to be different types of the third movie, different covers, different DVD specials, bloopers, maybe. Like.
There was no bloopers. They just fucking left all of it in.
It was
They
the movie.
didn't take anything out. They just left it all in.
The blooper was the story.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think that,
With the white cowboy guy. It's so terrible.
The villain was awful. I 100% do not disagree that the it was not the best.
Although the villain being like a white colonist like makes total sense.
What are you trying to
That's
say?
the most logical thing in the movie. Just
fair.
like Prey, man. Just like Prey.
They were French. French Canadian.
Sure. Yeah, I think that the Netflix one is very much worth watching. It has in fact made me decide to go back and watch
The
the
cartoon.
animated one. I think there's only 26 episodes, and I think that they split a lot of those up into like 4-minute episodes.
Can I interest you in a show actually? If I
Okay.
could recommend one. If you really big Teenage Mutant Ninja, I can't even finish this sentence. Damn
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
If you're really big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. It takes it to a whole new level, guys.
I'd heard that from you
You ever wanted to watch?
when you reviewed it.
You ever wanted to watch four brothers fight over who gets to fuck their sister turtle?
You know what? Can I say that might be my favorite thing about this Rise one is that there's no weird sexual tension between anybody.
Agreed. That's
Or
all
the
we
first
needed
one.
was
Now
cartoon.
that I think about it. Or the second one. I would say the second one doesn't have any weird.
Mikey makes some comments. In April's
Oh,
apartment
Mikey.
specifically.
Or like, what about when Michelangelo's like sitting there and Donatello walks up and he's like, "You ever think about what Splinter says about like someday he might not be here for us and we really need to like look out for each other?" And this big long speech, and Michelangelo's sitting there with that toothpick and goes, "Pizza guy's about like another 2 minutes and that pizza's finished."
Yeah. You know,
Oh man,
you know how like
it was just such like it sets the tone for like certain characters when
Yeah.
they do shit like that.
yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? And Mikey's just sitting right there with the toothpick.
Donnie's on the
2 more minutes.
Donnie's
2
on
more
the
minutes. This guy's got.
Donnie's on the spectrum. Leo is like Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Raph has anger issues, and Mikey's got ADHD. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like they're just like you lump to somebody, and that's it. Mikey has been trying to smash April since yeah, you're not wrong. It's weird, but
And
when
it's funny-
Venus de Milo shows up, don't worry, guys.
Well, you know what? Because now I got a shot.
It's a
but
sister.
You know what? A lot of the times,
According to that stupid dumb, it's a sister.
but none of them are related in that one. Remember? But it's funny because, like, yeah, in the cartoon, the 3D-ish cartoon, the one before this Rise, it's Donatello that has like a super big crush on April. It's very weird why it has to be like shoehorned into these. They can just be cool.
Because sex sells, sir. And when you think about turtles fucking,
I will say there's the first episode of the Rise. They go and fight this big bad guy, and April goes with them and like is fighting with them. Like they already know each other. It's just already established they know one another, and they're fighting and they're getting blown back by this guy, and they're all trying to do it. And all of a sudden, fucking April comes like flying down, and she's like beating up these two little like demon-looking thingies, and she's like biting one and stomping on the other, and she's got a bat in her hand, and she looks up and goes. And they all give her a thumbs back, and then she like continues on. It's the timing in the new cartoon. Sometimes they are joking a little bit too much, but they have a lot of really good jokes in it.
you know what I think here? I think this is what that is, and we've talked about this about the comic book. And I don't know who directed it. I don't remember who it was or whatnot. But I think it's a difference of when someone truly loves something that they're working with and when someone does not give a fuck. And you have your Michael Bay and your whoever directed this one. Like you can tell that someone enjoys what they're doing. The fact that, I rag on Venus de Milo, but they brought her back in the comic book series because someone who genuinely loves the lore that Eastman and Laird brought to this world was like, I want to make this right.
I also personally think that like what I wouldn't love more is to take a franchise that I love and then take a story that they fucking botched and go, let me fix this for the fans.
You don't think though, right? Like they wouldn't.
Call us up? I doubt it.
They would. They wouldn't go back in time, would they?
Again?
Could they redo number 3?
I think that they let it exist in lore of the universe and they move on. Because I think the 2007 TMNT acknowledges that the third one happened.
I just know it bugs Cleveland to have to talk about it, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think it bugs you more than it bugs me because you're like, it's not that bad.
I
And
just
you know
it
it
is.
is.
I don't think it was that bad.
Go watch it again.
That's fair.
Watch it again and review
When's
it
the
for
last time I
me.
watched it? It's been a while.
Make a quick TikTok about it.
How under the influence can I be while watching it?
I think that you and Jameson should sit together. That's how sober you should be.
God, that's terrible.
You were worried about Rise being too rough, or she was.
She can be
No
so
problems
bored.
with this one coming up.
She can be
Don't
so
worry, little
bored.
Yoshi's gonna be fine.
Well, guys, that was our take on the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which tells a wonderful story about 4 brothers trying to, make it in the world.
I think we should also go rank the intro songs for each show because I
there's
really
some
like
good ones that I have not listened to.
they're all, it's just a variation on the first one, but like,
Oh, are they?
yeah,
That's fair. When you have the first one, why do anything else?
Which mystic power did you like the most? Because Donnie was like fucking Green Lantern.
Yeah, I really liked Leo. I think they did the most
teleporting
fun
sword
stuff with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raph's was really interesting. I like that all of them played to what they do. Donnie being the creative one, Raph kind of just bulks his body.
Myth Marvel.
Yeah. Mikey's was interesting.
The chains.
Infinity chain, essentially.
Yeah.
But I think out of all of them, I would say the teleporting I thought was uniquely used.
We won't speak too much on the spoilers and stuff, but how'd you feel when Mikey was like at the end, like trying to rip a portal open? I was like,
trying his best, and then his brothers held on to him, and that's why he didn't die. In case you're like,
yeah,
they all used each other's mystical powers together to, it was good. It is a very heartwarming, solid movie. It's like I said, maybe an hour and a half. Take the time to go watch. It's on Netflix. Everybody's got Netflix. You ain't got Netflix. You got your mom's Netflix. You got your dad's Netflix. If you're part of the Bad Dad Club, don't worry, guys. You got your brother's Netflix. Whoever's Netflix you need, you let us know. Go watch it.
It is an hour and 22 minutes, and that is with credits. Also, really great voice cast. Like, really good.
John Ralphio's killing it, man. I sent that text to you, I know, but just knocking him out.
And Haley Joel Osment, the Sixth Sense kid.
Who was he playing?
Casey.
Oh, was that Haley Joel Osment played a character in a show called Future Man. Did you ever watch that movie or that show?
I believe I remember it, but not a lot.
Fucking roller coaster ride. A fucking roller coaster ride in that show. I think he does an anime voice too, doesn't he? Or not anime, like a video game.
I think so.
It's Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. I can't remember. One of them. Anyways, guys, that was our take on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hopefully you guys are having a great night. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/Friendship Supreme. All of our social medias are going to be Friendship Supreme, except for Twitter. It is Friendship Supreme, just no eyes, because all eyes should either be on our Twitch or our YouTube channel, where you can see Cleve and I look real funny.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you didn't know, we have live recordings of these now on Twitch. And then, you can say things, and we might laugh, and then worry about me being murdered for my opinion on Ninja Turtles.
A very fair response.
That's just twitch.tv/Friendship Supreme. If you guys are watching this live, if you didn't know, we have a YouTube channel. We post once every week. We have episodes every Wednesday for sure. And then we have other stuff like Podcast and Crime, where we talk about buddy cop films and whether or not they're good cops or bad cops. Spoiler, they're mostly shitty cops.
Mm-hmm. Wait till this new one I got for you.
I watched Theodore Rex, guys. Or I watched... You know what? Here's the thing. When Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is not that bad...
It wasn't.
It wasn't that bad.
It's so funny.
That's what's scary. But anyways, guys, if you have any comments, throw them down below. We'll respond. If you guys have any suggestions on episodes you guys want to see, let us know. You can always write to us, friendship.supreme@gmail.com. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve. Cowabunga.
I mean, there's no other one.